What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I am Dan Humer along with Craig Akers. We are starting kind of like our first little podcast for a group that we've created called Motor Misfits. Motor Misfits is not only a riding club, but it's also a brand. It's also just kind of a place where people can fit in. So that's kind
Yeah,
of where the Motor
exactly.
Misfits. Um, with our group that we've created, it's anything motors. Basically, anywhere from a motorcycle to a tricycle to a car, a truck, whatever. But we've kind of come on here just to talk about daily life, talk about things that have been going on, maybe in the world, whatever. We'll have different uh, discussions and whatnot, just kind of what we're feeling, kind of keep it unscripted to a certain percentage. But so what's up, Craig? I understand you're on what, day two or day one of snow day?
Well, officially, we're still on day one of snow day, but day two is tomorrow, and we're not going to school again tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, I teach fourth grade at a school in southern Indiana. So this is tomorrow will be day two, and they've already announced a 2 hour delay for Wednesday. So we got hit with anywhere between 8 and 12 inches of snow over the past 48 hours. So the main roads aren't bad. We went to town today, me and Jay, and main roads weren't bad. The worst part was getting out of the driveway. So we were able to get out of the driveway, but then from then on, the roads are kind of clear. But the county roads are definitely bad. So the crews have been out working on those, trying to get those cleared so that everybody can make their way to work and make their way places. But school's definitely out for the next day.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's nice. I know you guys are just coming back from Christmas break, and you kind of want to get back in the swing of things because it's kind of like a little teaser. It just keeps getting extended. But safety is the utmost importance, and I'm sure your school doesn't take a snow day just to take a snow day. I know we talked earlier in the day, and you said you teach at, I think you said, the seventh largest county in the state of Indiana, and you have you said some crazy amount of miles
Yeah.
that you
So
have kids come from, and it's a lot of rural roads.
yeah, you're exactly right. The county that I live in is the seventh largest in Indiana, and my school covers 2/3 of it, with most of that being rural farmland. So we don't have a whole a big population of kids, but it covers a ton of miles. So those of you who are used to the city inner city schools or city schools, um, our school you can go pretty much a mile, and that's the distance between houses.
Right.
Where
Right.
some schools you go a mile and that's their whole school district. So you know, but lots of great things going on there. So
I got you. Yeah,
Dan,
you usually it's vice versa. Usually up here, and
yeah,
I live in the suburbs of Chicago. Um, Usually I'm the one that's dealing with the snow, and you're just like, oh, it's 44. I'm riding my motorcycle today. No
yeah.
worries.
Well,
So,
here's what's funny. I rode my motorcycle Saturday
right.
um, around town, and then Sunday we get hit with 8 inches of snow. So
Well, you know what? At least you got your last little, you got your first ride of the year out.
yeah,
Um, but you were testing some things. You recently did some stuff to your bike, right? What your
yeah.
bike is do you have again?
So, well, I have a 19 Road Glide Special, and then I've got an '08 Fat Bob, and I have neglected very badly my Road Glide, the rear brakes and wheel bearings, and so I got into them and started looking at them, and my brake pad was as thin as a piece of paper. So it was completely eaten away. And then my rotor was had big gouges in it and everything from those brake pads being eaten away. So I had to replace both of those. And then while I was in there, I thought, oh, I'm going to do the wheel bearings too. Well, come to find out, two of my wheel bearings were seized up. Most people don't know that on the back of touring bikes you have four. Two go in your wheel and then two go in your sprocket. And two of the four were seized, completely completely still, so they weren't
Oh,
moving at
geez.
all. So I got those replaced, and then of course, once you get them replaced, you want to go test it and make sure everything's working right. So I took it out and rode it. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 miles total. It was only 40 degrees, but I was still out riding, so that's always a plus.
That's crazy.
But yeah, just getting out and getting those things kind of tested out. So you don't want to put it away for 2 or 3 months and it not be ridden, not know if it's going to work or not.
Oh, for sure, for sure. A lot of times you put your bike away, you think, hey, I'm good. Or a lot of times when people put their bikes away, that's when they start doing like the major maintenance or the things that they did neglect,
Yeah,
Uh, a lot of times rear brakes or the bigger ticket items that could keep the bike down for several weeks. I mean, hell, we have a member of our group that I mean, his bike was down for pretty much all season last year and over some kind of piddly stuff, but it transpired into larger items that basically
yeah.
it sucked. So
And luckily, that was on a group trip that we were on. His bike went down. Luckily, we were 300 miles from my house, but luckily we were only a mile from the trailer that we trailered down with. So he was able to get that back to that, and able to get it home and then get it worked on and everything. But you really never know when it comes to motorcycles and just motors in general. You're never sure what's going to go on. You always kind of have to be prepared for the best, be prepared for the worst. So
oh, for sure. And especially, on that trip, I felt we were pretty prepared, being that we were a little distant, we were distanced from the closest, like I call it safe place, like your house or our house
yeah,
or along those lines. Um, and but we've done some last year. I would say probably the most adventure riding for me. Usually I do trips that are based around an event.
yeah,
Um, and that's kind of how we met through the other club that we were in, I guess you want to call. And with the Misfits, I've noticed that we're doing more of like a destination, like, hey, let's go to this place. Last year, where did we go? We Memorial Day, we went to
uh,
Arkansas,
Harrison, Arkansas. If you
which
guys
is
haven't been,
awesome.
yeah, if you haven't been to Harrison, Arkansas, that's a place to go. It's about an hour south of Branson, Missouri. So you've got all kinds of great riding, and it all is centrally located out of Harrison, Arkansas. So you can find a place in Harrison to stay and see what we were in, what, three different states within an hour.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were even talking about going to Texas at one point.
Yeah, sorry, four, because we hit Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas all within an hour.
That was a good riding day. I do remember that. I mean, we did, and Harrison actually, like, that's kind of like their bread and butter because I mean they had uh I want to say 9 total routes already planned out for
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yep. and
which
and
was
they had all kinds of different things on those rides. You could see kind of the country, you go into town, you could all kinds of different stuff. So and then they had two that we didn't do that were like adventure bikes, like the getting off road, like dirt bike type stuff, and we didn't do
right.
those, of course. um, but they had those
Yeah, I
all
don't have
pre-planned.
I don't have enough to take the bike on an off-road, unfortunately. I've
Yeah,
already seen it. I've already seen it done once, and it ended up with two people bikes over in the river.
yeah.
So, which is funny. So we did
uh,
that
talk,
trip. Go ahead.
talk a little bit about your bike. What do you have?
I got a 2014 uh Ultra Limited. I'm sorry. I have 3 bikes, so I'm trying to figure out which
Yeah,
I have the '03 and the 14 and then the Suzuki as well. So,
yeah.
but
Did you need to go down and look at it in the garage to make sure that's what it
yeah,
what it
yeah, I
really
wanted to
is?
make sure that it was still there and look at the VIN number and stuff like that. But
There you go.
uh but yeah, I've got a 2014 Ultra Limited. I love that thing. I've done minimal stuff. I'm more so a sound guy. Music is I love music. Anybody that knows me, I mean, I have probably the most wide range spectrum when it comes to music, and I can and if you ride behind me, which you can hear me, you definitely can to attest to that. So, um, I probably put the most miles on that bike last year. I do feel more comfortable sometimes if people give me crap about it, but to have a trailer there, because for instance, when we were down, when Cliff's bike went down, um, it's that safety because we were at a holiday weekend, and for the amount of work that his bike needed, he would have been down there a
Oh
couple
yeah,
weeks,
at least.
or or he would have had to rent a truck and trailer and drive it back and then deal with that cost as well. So, but yeah, I have nothing special with mine. I do have an exhaust. I got it used, so I don't know as far as if it's ever been tweaked or anything. I have ridden next to people that do have it tweaked, not crazy tweaked like your bike or Cliff's bike, but I can still hold my own a little bit. But I am also half the weight of you two, so I have a lot more that the bike has to push a little a little
Yeah.
bit. But yeah, I think just the riding that we do is amazing, and the group of people that we ride with is amazing too. And I think that's what it's all about. I mean, when you look at riding in general, you could go out and ride till you're blue in the face. And yeah, you're making personal memories, or if you have, your wife or girlfriend or whoever on the back of the bike, you're making memories with them. But I feel that sometimes you need to have that group. I think it makes it more interesting, and more enjoyable. You know what I mean? I loved our guy trips that we went on, especially to Pigeon Forge, and then we did the Ohio trip, which you just I said, hey, find a place, and
Yeah.
boom, you found Ohio, and we've also checked off a lot of dealerships, along the way as well. I mean, how many dealerships did you go to? Because I'll just like take off a little bit because I know that you got on your
Oh
bike
man.
and decided to ride 600 miles just to
Yeah.
get three dealerships.
Oh man, I have no idea how many dealers I hit this year. But I know I left I left your house and I hit 7 dealers in one day on my way home, riding 690 miles. Um, Dan, of course, already said he lives in the suburbs of Chicago. I came south through Illinois, picked up 3 dealers in Illinois, went to St. Louis, Missouri, and then came back across um, the southern part of Illinois into Indiana and back home. So it was 690 miles, and I checked off,
And,
uh, dealers that I didn't have.
and mind you, this was like November, or when was it, October, November? So it was
October.
cold. It was cold up here. It was
Yeah,
it was it was cold. But I guess once you got to a certain like point, you said, "Hey, I was able to start peeling
yeah.
layers off and
It was a
and
beautiful
and
day.
whatnot."
I rode in a coat earlier in the morning up until probably 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then I peeled the coat and was just in a hoodie, and jeans, and it was great the rest of the day. Um,
Oh, for
yeah,
sure, for sure.
so that was awesome. You talked about our Arkansas trip that we did. The Ohio trip was really neat, just because of the different kind of scenery, that we were able to get into in Ohio. We thought, oh, it's Ohio, it's a lot like Indiana, Illinois, but we found, that we were up in some hills or mountains. I don't even know what you want to call them, but it reminded me of the Tennessee, Kentucky, area.
hmm I enjoyed our. You're talking about Arkansas now or Ohio?
Ohio, Ohio.
Ohio, well, yeah, because Ohio we also hit. Oh, this is blue. He wanted to get on here as well. Uh, but Ohio, because when we were in Ohio, we also went to West
Oh yeah, we went to
Virginia.
West Virginia. I forgot about that.
So we followed the Ohio River quite a lot. I would say a lot of those
Yeah.
rides. Um, and then we went to a couple new dealers that just opened up, which was actually really really cool. Um, so. But yeah, and the food was great. I mean, one thing that I'll say, if you guys are ever thinking about just getting on your bike and riding, once you get to the hotel, again, you are not spending a lot of time in your hotel. So
Yeah.
there's some people that are bougie that want to spend $200-300 a night on a hotel just for 8 hours of sleep,
We
or
might spend
or
two or
with
three hundred
us,
dollars the whole trip.
I think the one trip I think it was $100 a guy, and it was
Yeah,
$400 for 3 or 4 days, and it was great. Um, Ask the front desk. I mean, that the steak place that we went to when we went to Arkansas, and we just asked the guy, "Hey, where's a place that you would go to eat?"
yeah,
Which was awesome. In Ohio, we had some really good food. Um, that places that you're not going to go to. Everybody's going to want to go to the places you know. One of the rules that we have when we ride, we do not want a chain place
yeah.
unless it's like
We're not going somewhere that we've
breakfast
gone
or
before.
something. It's something quick, simple. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? If we
I think
if
we
we
ate at
hey, we're
Taco
gonna grab
Bell
a
one day for
sandwich.
lunch.
Yeah, but I
So
think that's because I think we rode all day,
we rode
and
270 miles, and it was
we were
lunchtime.
hangry.
So we
We
stopped at the
were
Taco Bell.
angry.
But then
Then I think
we
we
ate
went
at
back
the
and had taco coma.
yeah we ate at the Triple Nickel Diner that morning, and it was just a great place,
Oh,
kind of off the beaten
oh, for
path,
sure.
and just really good food. We
Was
never
that
had
was the one in the little town, right?
yeah
They got
yeah the
was
one
a
that
crap ton of food, dude. You remember
yeah
that? We got like
we
the
had a
fried mushrooms. It was awesome.
we had a table full of stuff, and we only ordered like a main meal for each of us, but we had a table full of food. So
There was a lot of food. Triple Nickel Diner, probably a definitely go to if you're ever out that way. It
yeah
looks like it's a cool place too, even in that little area. They had tubing and all that other stuff. Do you remember the city
well,
that
I don't
it
even know. I'd have to look it
it
up.
was up there? I just remember the ride up there. It was beautiful. It was like almost reminded me of like mining roads or something. Like it was cut in. It
Yeah.
was very old and very developed and whatnot, which was awesome. Which was awesome. You
Well, and
know.
then we didn't even
Um,
talk about the Fourth of July, not the Fourth of July, the time that everybody came down to Southern Indiana, and we rode over to the Amish restaurant. I don't even
oh, that was
remember.
good. Yeah, the Amit, what was that 4th of July weekend?
I think it was
No,
Fourth of July weekend.
but I don't remember us doing any 4th of July stuff that week.
Maybe it was the weekend after. I can't remember. It was around then.
And that's when we went to Rabbit Hash.
Yeah. Yep.
We
And
went to,
we saw the largest duck.
yep. So, oh yeah, in where's that? Oh, where Kat Von D lives.
Oh, Vive.
Vive, that's right. That
Yeah.
right. That's
So
still a
that
nice
and
trip.
that was another time that we had some bike issues. Your bike wasn't holding the air and the suspension and whatever, and we fixed it in a gas
Hmm.
station parking lot.
Yeah, we're sitting there trying to figure it out. Um, I just got air suspension added. That, and I think that was like our trip. They were like, "Hey, let's try figuring it out."
Yeah,
But overall, I mean, it was great. That
and
was
that's kind of the
always a good
way
ride.
that's kind of the way we do things. We throw stuff on a bike and we're like, hey, let's go ride 100 miles and see if it holds up. Like,
Hey, we're within. We always have access to a trailer and a truck anywhere we're
yeah,
at usually. So,
yep.
but
So
about this trip, I mean, this year, I mean, we've got a trip planned Memorial Day weekend,
right.
and we're heading to
So we're gonna
Pigeon.
go.
No,
Well, yeah, kind of. We're heading south through Indiana, through
yep,
Kentucky into the northern part of Tennessee, and gonna hit what's called the Devil's Triangle, which is an old coal road in northern Tennessee, and then we're going to head south from there and do the typical Tail of the Dragon, but then turn back towards the west and go up into the Cherahalla Skyway, which if you guys haven't done, it's 5,000 feet above sea level. So literally, you're looking down on the clouds from up there.
that's
Um,
awesome.
and then we're going to head into Georgia and do what's called six gaps, and there are literally six gaps through the mountains, that you can see through. So that's super cool. And then go over and pick up the Moonshiner 28 in Walhalla, South Carolina, and ride that all the way back up into, I believe it ends in Branson City, um, Tennessee, which is, or not Branson City. Oh, it'll come to me in a second. Cherokee, Tennessee, which is just, or it might be North Carolina. I can't remember. Anyway, it's right there in the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area, and that's where we'll
I
stay
got
that
you.
night. So
Oh, right on.
kind of a big
Well,
big
that's
circular loop.
and that's something that with this channel, we'll be doing a lot more food. We'll do some food stuff. We'll take some videos and talk to people at some of the restaurants. We'll videotape a lot of the rides. If you check out any of our pages, or I don't want to call them pages, but check out any of our videos, you can see that we use an app, and it literally will track the entire route and ride that if you guys ever want to go on, you can see, and we can also give some of the recommendations that we've eaten at or stayed at or done and whatnot. And that's kind of what this like going back to my first statement when we first opened up is that's what this channel's about. Getting out, enjoying yourself, having the friends, having the family that you've established or your circle that you have, and you may be on the limb of like, hey, I don't know if I want to go there, or hey, I don't know if I want to do this trip or whatnot. I mean, we're all, where's the first place you go when you're looking to do something? It's YouTube. You know what I mean? Whether it's to
Yeah,
fix something, a trip, how-to videos, whatnot, and that's kind of what the channel is going to become is more of just uh, an all-around the band of misfit videos, hence the name Motor Misfits. Just a misfit video that really doesn't fall into a genre, per se, but also being able to have these talks and catch up with people, and be able to enjoy a video that you can sit and watch and not zip through and be like, okay, when do I get to this part, or when do I get to this part, or when I get to this part? So,
yeah, yeah. Well,
but
something that I think we need to do on every one when we wrap up is what's your daily advice? So we're gonna close this one up here in just a minute. So Dan, what's your daily advice for today?
my daily advice is never trust yellow.
Ooh, that's a good one,
No,
especially for what's going on here.
no, I'm just no. I think the biggest thing is take that leap. Don't be afraid to make that change, whatever it may be. Change something up in your daily routine, and just don't be afraid of it because yeah, it's going to be scary, but only you can get past that fear. So I just think just take that chance. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Just take the chance. What about you, Craig? What's your
Uh,
what's your
I think
daily
it's
advice?
I think it hits today. Don't let anything hold you back. Like the snow today is holding a lot of people back from being able to do what they like. Don't let things hold you back.
I got you.
So
Okay. So get on that bike. Let's see you get up
yeah, I
that
don't know about
driveway.
that. I don't know about
Get
that.
grab the grab the one that's on the tree line.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
one
That's
that one maybe could get up there.
yeah, that'd be the only one. My driveway's slick.
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as you are inside, staying warm, you know, that's the most important, especially on the snow days. If you don't have to be out, don't be out. So that's why I'm counting my blessings because if it was snowing here, I would be out shoveling and plowing now. So
Yeah,
sucks. So, but I think that overall for our first episode, I think this went pretty well. I would like to think that we can at least try to put out one a week, and eventually they'll get longer, and we can bring people in and talk to different people with. Oh, they're not happy. Talk with some different people that could be all throughout the community, whether it be motors related or bringing in people talking about the fields that they're in, or if we go to some Harley shops, we talk to some mechanics and whatnot, some different stuff like that. So eventually we'll find our little niche, but right now it's just going to kind of be a little bit of everything. What are your thoughts on that?
there we go. I think you hit the nail on the head. You're gonna see us on some trips. You're gonna see us with some food. You're gonna see us, out. doing all kinds of different stuff. So you're never quite sure where you're going to see the Misfits and what we're going to be doing. So
Exactly, exactly. But I'll end it real quick because I know we're going to get off here. Is we are going to be dropping merchandise, and we're going to do a monthly T-shirt design that will be a limited production, um, with some other T-shirts and stuff like that. I'm sure that the link is going to be somewhere down here or be on our Facebook page and whatnot. But that's if you like what we're about and you want to show some support, we would love that. If not, I mean, you don't have to spend any money. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share. That's all. That's more that we can really help us out, get this channel. If you know anybody that's interested in the Misfits or anything along those lines, we are a motor or a riding club. We're not a motorcycle club. We're a riding club. So if you have any kind of vehicle, whether it be a car, truck, sports car, two-wheel bike, whatever, anything that has a motor, we definitely are always interested in creating and growing our group. You can always like us or send us a message on Facebook or YouTube, and we can give you more details.
yeah, for sure. So with that, we're going to wrap up, and we will see you guys next week.